Hey, let me ask you a question. Are you interested in owning a very simple and highly scalable business that provides a really needed service with really huge demand in an uncrowded industry, really, probably the least crowded industry that I've heard of, that allows you to work from home, really work from anywhere. You can work while you're on the road. You can not miss your kids' ball games and still don't miss out on the opportunity to produce really substantial revenue and income for yourself. If that sounds at all interesting, you're going to want to stick around for this video. But first, my name is Jason Revere, former vice president of franchise development for a home service company, currently franchise coach, helping first-time entrepreneurs and even seasoned entrepreneurs take that leap into business ownership to find the right opportunity for themselves to allow them to achieve the financial and lifestyle goals that they've set out for themselves. If you're interested in learning more about our services, go ahead and hit our website. It's revfran.com. We'll put a link in the description below here, but that's not what we're here to discuss. Enough about me. We're here to talk about an opportunity that can do exactly what I told you at the beginning of this video. And the buckle up, because it's a different one. It's an odd one. And I'm as skeptical as anybody is when I evaluate business opportunities or franchise opportunities. And the more I learned about it, the more and more I liked it. But just suspend your disbelief for a moment and listen to what I got to say. But the business itself, it's a business opportunity. It's called Judgment Business. And what the heck is that? Well, first off, we need to learn a couple things about the initial investment here. So if this sounds like something that is within your wheelhouse, this could be a really good fit for you. And the way that they do this is really unique. It's a $150,000 investment to get started, and that includes everything: your business formation, your initial bank of marketing, all of the training, all of the support, all of the legal assistance and help to start this type of a business. And as I mentioned before, it is in a very uncrowded marketplace with huge demand, and it's probably something you've never even considered, even that is even a possible business opportunity for you. But it's really cool, and so we're going to take a look at that. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen here so we can all take a look at this together. There we go. Okay, as I mentioned before, it's called Judgment Business. It's really Judgment Business Incubator, JBI for short. And what is it? Well, you're starting a judgment asset investigation firm. Sounds complicated, right? Well, it is if you don't have the requisite training and all of the legal assistance and help that this company provides. But let's just boil it down to the basics of what this type of a business is. So Jack owes Jill $5,000. Jill sues Jack for $5,000 and is awarded a $5,000 judgment. Woohoo, right? Yeah, good. Jill is going to get her money back. She's going to be made whole because of that judgment. Well, in theory, yeah, that's great. But in practice, only about 80% of judgments go unfilled. So poor Jill is sitting around twiddling her thumbs going, what in the heck do I even do? I wouldn't know what to do if I got a judgment and the person still refused to pay. What the heck do you do? Well, what do they do? They turn to judgment asset investigation businesses to help them find this, to recover this money that they were owed, right? Sounds pretty simple, but it can be very complicated. And I'm going to go ahead and unshare my screen so we can just kind of talk through this here. And I think it'll help to understand where this business came from. How did it get funded or founded in the first place? And so about 10, 12, 15 years ago, something like that, this company was started as an online company where they started a website called judgmentmarketplace.com. And what they did was they encouraged these injured parties, these people that were owed money, to get online and post their judgments on there for people that are in this industry to work. And right, it was just kind of a thought. Did it and thought that it would work, but it was kind of on a lark. But lo and behold, they got billions and billions of dollars of judgments listed onto their site. And they saw a huge opportunity there to capitalize on this, and they were really at the forefront of this, especially in the digital age, and it worked. It was wonderful, but they've got so many judgments that their company can't work them all. And so what they did was they began formulating a way to offer their expertise and their training and their legal help and their technology resources to first-time entrepreneurs or people who just want to step into this and add it on to their current businesses as kind of a bolt-on business. Maybe they run a financial firm of some kind or a CPA firm, and they're looking for a way to bolt onto it. But for the most part, and I can say this, I can tell you this firsthand from the clients that I've had that have bought this. This is their very first business that they've ever stepped into as an owner, and so they're giving you essentially a fully formed judgment asset investigation business, like right out of the gate, right out of the box. It's like you've been in business for 10, 20 years from day one, right? Pretty cool stuff. So how does it work? All right. As I mentioned before, do you have to have an office? Do you got to have a staff? No, heck no. You can do this all from the comfort of your home. You can do it anywhere in the world as long as you've got an internet connection. You can take cases. If you want to take cases, you don't have to take cases. If you don't, it's a super low overhead business, and you can really run this thing kind of lean and mean, or you can grow it out to becoming, as I mentioned before, a really scalable enterprise where you begin to hire more and more people to work for your firm to investigate more and more judgments, adding to your revenue, and how does and building out that top line revenue that will eventually, obviously shake down into the pockets of the owner. But how does it all work? What do you do? Are you out there, with a club beating people in the knees? No. It's all done again through a computer. You're going to be finding assets, things like cryptocurrency, seizing bank accounts, garnishing wages from those, that maybe they're not paying their child support or their alimony, and you're going to be seizing garnishing their wages. Maybe they've got some hard, some tangible things like a house or a boat or an RV or whatever, and you're going to work within a local sheriff's department in the area that they're in to get the assets, auction them off. They're going to give you the money. You're going to send a portion of the money back to the injured party. It's a win-win. They're happy. Well, I guess it's a win-win-lose for the doofus that wasn't paying their stuff in the first place, but they shouldn't have done that. They were bad guys, right? Anyway, so you get a portion of it, and I believe it's somewhere in the neighborhood of between 25 and 30%. Don't quote me on that. This is, check with the folks at Judgment Business for actual numbers on this, but that's what I have been told from people who are running this business. That's my disclaimer for you. And again, that's how this whole thing works, right? You could be working small cases. I met with a guy the other day that his first case was a $2,500 judgment. The guy hadn't paid rent. The landlord had sued him. He got a judgment, still didn't pay, and turned to this. It was his first case. It was his first month in business. It was a $2,500 judgment. Was able to collect it, and he kept a portion of the proceeds. And actually, that same guy, he was able to do, and within his first 2 years of business, a lot of different judgments. But one in particular he had mentioned was he was able to find essentially a windfall of about $1 million plus judgment, and had a pretty sizable, north of the $250,000 windfall for his company. And his company's small. He works out of his house. I've seen his digs, man. He's just did his home office. So it's a really lean overhead business. Super cool stuff, but it's not a franchise. I wanted to make sure that I said that up front. This is not a franchise. So you don't have to worry about any ongoing royalties or, brand, making sure that your business is brand congruent and all that stuff. No, you're going to call your business whatever you want to call it. They're going to build a website for you. You can add services on as you please, right? There's some really cool adjacent services that you can begin to add to really, add to your ability and to your portfolio of ability to serve different clientele bases. Things like maybe funding, right? You can provide funding for small businesses. There's plenty of ways of aligning yourself with funding companies to do that. There's plenty of different services that you can provide. Hell, marketing. You could align yourself with a marketing agency that does white label stuff, and you can start to build out a lot more stuff. But just out of the box, $150,000 investment, if you were able to collect on a judgment like our friend told us about the other day, that pays for itself twice over, right? Right, really, right, pretty quickly out of the gate. Anyway, so I'm rambling here. Who is good for this business, right? You got to be thinking to yourself, if this sounds even a little bit interesting to you, you're probably thinking, am I cut out for this? Really, the ideal people for this business are going to be people that like to kind of put their detective caps on, right? They like that kind of lifestyle where they can get onto a computer and they can kind of lose themselves in searching for things and connecting the dots, right? The Judgment Business is going to provide you with all the tools. They've got a wonderful online resource that helps you with the use of social security numbers and names and addresses and whatnot to identify and find those assets and seize them. Really simply, I don't want to get into too much of the detail of how that works, but they provide all that for you. But you've got to have that kind of detective mindset where you like doing this. And then also, you got to enjoy the idea of doing whatever you want to do whenever you want to do it as a business owner. That's pretty cool, right? You can work from home. Hell, you can have your jammy pants on if you want. I don't care. They don't care. As long as you're happy and you're doing the stuff that is allowing you to achieve your goals, nobody's going to be over there. You're your own boss, right? Nobody's going to be hitting you with a whip. But again, it's a very interesting, very unique business in a really uncrowded marketplace. And there's so many judgments out there. I mean, billions and billions and billions of dollars of judgments are just sitting there waiting for somebody to help them to collect on these judgments that are going unpaid. It's a really altruistic type of business to get into. You can feel really good about it. Some of the clients that I've had that have done this, they've been high achievers, high performers, but again, they've not owned their own business for the most part a lot of the times, and they're very happy with their decision they make. They view themselves as successful. It's about as good of as an endorsement as I can give about this business in this forum here. If you're interested in learning more about this business, hit up our website, revfran.com, and there's fill out a couple of the assessments on there, or just click the button that says schedule a strategy session right then and there. And again, this isn't a business for anybody. I want to make sure that I make this abundantly clear. There is a lot of BS out there. All these yahoos out there talking about the Amazon stuff. Run. Okay, run for the hills. Those are nonsense. It's a total BS. And I thought this might be a BS business too, personally, until I started really digging into it and meeting some of these people that are operating this business. Did I really start to see its full potential? And these guys are on the up and up. I endorse them. I believe in them, and I would be happy to help you explore this opportunity if it sounds like something that you would enjoy. Again, off the beaten path, not your typical franchise that I usually am here talking about, where it's providing a tangible service and you can see all the stuff online about things. This is a little bit behind the curtain. Don't pay no attention to the man behind the curtain. That's going to be you if you want to do this business. But again, if this doesn't sound interesting to you, I appreciate you sticking out this long rambling video here and learning at least a little bit about what's out there. And if it's not interesting to you, but you still think you want to own a business, again, hit up our website. Make sure to leave a comment on this if you want to see more of these types of videos. That helps me a lot to understand what people are doing. And if you want me to give you my 2 cents on a specific type of business opportunity or franchise, just drop the name into the comments section on here, and I'll do one of these videos, and I'll make sure to mention you there. So anyway, that's going to wrap up our video for today. I appreciate you again joining us. Be excellent today. We'll catch you on the next one.